Hi everyone. I found the book that I was talking about last time. Here it is, Edward the Emu. It's an older book, so I don't know if many of you have read it. But this is called Edward the Emu by Sheena Knowles, illustrated by Clement. The publishers are Harper Collins, and I'm reading it with their permission. So there he is, Edward. And I got an emu and an ostrich confused in my last video, and I think you can kind of see why. For Margot and Zoe, Edward the Emu. Do you have an emu in your zoo? We have an emu in our zoo. I don't know if all zoos have them, but they sure are fascinating creatures. Here we go. Edward the Emu was sick of the zoo. There was nowhere to go. There was nothing to do. And compared to the seals that lived right next door, well, being an emu was frankly a bore. So it looks like our sweet little emu is bored. He looks bored, doesn't he? He is bored with his life at the zoo. So that is the problem. Let's see how he tries to solve it. So that night when the zookeeper went home to bed, Edward jumped from his pen and he laughed as he said, "The seals are best anybody can tell. So tomorrow I'll just be a seal as well." Silly bird. He can't be a seal, but we're going to see what he does. Emus are one of the birds that can't fly. Don't know if you all know that. But it looks like he's jumping out of his cage. His, what do they call it? It's going to come to me. It ends in the letters ARY. His place where he lives in the zoo. He's leaping out of it. The next morning at 9, when they opened the zoo, the seals were swimming and Edward was too. He dived in the water and basked in the sun, and he balanced a ball on his beak just for fun. Isn't that sweet? I like the way his hair goes down into his eyes, just like a human. And the seal is probably wondering, what are you doing in here? Well, Edward was really enjoying the day till he overheard someone behind the fence say, "The seals are always amusing, it's true, but the lion's the best thing to see at the zoo." And if you look at his eyes, he's about to eat, and he looks back, "What? What are you saying? There's something better than the seal. Do I need to go check it out?" So here he goes. So that night when the zookeeper went home to bed, Edward jumped from the pool and he smiled as he said, "The lion's the best anybody can tell. So tomorrow I'll just be a lion as well." You're going to hear that line a lot. The best anybody can tell. So tomorrow I'll just be as well. So there he goes, off the diving board, probably trying to get out of the encagement. Oh, I can't think of the word, and it doesn't end in ARY. Here we go. The next morning at 9, when they opened the zoo, the lions were roaring and Edward was too. He snarled at the ladies and growled at the men. Life was certainly grand for a lion in his den. What a great photo, or a great painting, isn't it? I love it. Illustrators are so creative to me. Lots of canines, lots of sharp teeth. No teeth at all. This is a great book for comparing things. Well, Edward was having a wonderful day till a man in the crowd had the gumption to say, "The lion's a beast I shall always detest. The snakes are the things that I like to see best." So when you detest something, you don't like it at all. So of course he's listening to another person say something. So now he's curious. Are the snakes the best thing to see at the zoo? So that night when the zookeeper went home to bed, Edward crept from the cage and he grinned as he said, "If the snakes are the best thing, and that's what they say, then tomorrow I'll just be a snake for the day." And look, he's using his friend's head to hop over the fence, the gate, the wall, the gate, probably the best word, gate. He's making his forehead all wrinkly. The next morning at 9, when they opened the zoo, the snakes were all hissing, and Edward was too. He slipped around the rocks. It was magic to see. Then he curled himself casually up round a tree. What a great, great picture. Staring into each other's eyes. One of the creature's eyes are yellow. One are red. Scales versus feathers. Pattern versus no pattern. I don't like snakes. Although I've had the privilege of holding a huge one. It must have been a boa constrictor. It was huge. So I didn't hold it by myself. There was a bunch of us holding, and it actually felt kind of cool. Well, Edward was just warming up for the day. That's right, snakes love to lay in the sun. Well, Edward was just warming up for the day when he overheard one of the visitors say, "The snakes are impressive. I know that it's true. But the emu's by far the best thing at the zoo." I wonder what he's going to do. I know what he's going to do. "The emu," gasped Edward. "My goodness, that's me. I'm the thing that the gentleman most likes to see. Not the seals, the lions, the snakes, and the rest. It's Edward the emu he likes to see best." That's a little boost of confidence, huh? Oh, so where's Edward going to go now? I think you're right. So that night when the zookeeper went home to bed, Edward slipped from the cage and he laughed as he said, "If the emu's the best, then that's easy then. Tomorrow I'm Edward the emu again." He's always been Edward the emu. But he gets to go back to his cage and be his old self again. I think the snakes want to go with him. What do you think? I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 snakes. Edward ran to the place where he used to reside, but oh, what a shock when he clambered inside. He found himself suddenly come face to face with the emu they brought in to take Edward's place. They look alike, don't they? One is a little bit smaller. But oh my goodness, I bet he's never, well, maybe, but I would guess maybe he's never seen another emu before. The emus considered each other a while. Then the new emu said with a shy little smile, "Hello, I'm Edwina. It's nice meeting you. You're the best thing I've seen since I came to the zoo." He has a friend now. Isn't that nice? I love the rhyme and the rhythm of this story. I love it. And I love the story. I love the comparison of the animals. I love how he ends up with a friend. And I've heard there's a part 2 to the story. So I'll have to see if I can find that. But I have another book planned for next time. So this was awesome. Thank you for joining me. I wonder if emus really do have red eyes. I don't know. And I'm going to the zoo next week. I will check it out. Thanks for joining me. Until next time.